Shannon, can you hear us?
Yes, I can now. I'm in
Great.
Bali. The internet's not great.
Yeah, well, you made it work. You see, you made an adjustment, and it's working now. All right. So, first of all, how are you doing this? I guess it's morning over there.
Yeah, it's Tuesday morning. I'm like losing my own days. Yeah, I'm good. Great.
Definitely, it's not
Last day
Friday.
in
So,
Bali, going home.
absolutely, absolutely. First of all, thank you for joining us again, especially under short notice. We definitely appreciate it. So, first of all, for those that don't know, we kind of already mentioned it. Go ahead and give people over here stateside the news with the IBF.
So we've been chasing to be like to have the fight called like ordered, and it was sort of not happening. And we thought we sort of came to the conclusion we're gonna have to wait until March when she like so that she's had the title for a year. I last minute booked a holiday. I think it was Friday last week. Got off the plane and I had all these messages on my phone saying they just got the official notification from the IBF that they've ordered the fight. There's 30 days for the negotiation period and the fight has to take place by September 26th. So I was at the Bali airport going, holy shit.
Holy shit. All right. And of course, for those that don't know, Ebony Bridges happens to be the IBF champion. There's been crickets on Ebony's side. I know you, your team, I saw some interviews, you've talked about it. But it's kind of quiet over there, like crickets kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she might
What
be
do
still
you make
trying
of
to
that?
Google who I am. She might be trying to still Google who I am.
Google who you are? Do
Yeah,
you buy
she,
that? Obviously, we know that she knows who you are, obviously. You know what I mean?
of course she does.
There's no doubt about that. But she put out a post. I just wanted to, like, I'm just, I know I'm kind of like instigating maybe, but she put out a post of like a little dog barking. And she says, all I hear is an old dog barking. I don't know if it was about you because it was cryptic. Like she didn't say,
Of
right?
course it was about me.
So I mean, what do you make of that? Because she won't mention your name still.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm only 3 years older than her. I'm not sure what she's on about. Like, it'd be different if she was 26 calling me old, but she's 36 this year. I'm 39, like big deal. I fought Marcella Acuna when she was 41, and she's still fighting. I fought her
Man,
5 years ago.
oh, there you go.
Like, I mean, it's just going to make her look even more stupid because she knows that I'll beat her, and she knows that she's putting me down, saying I'm a nobody, I'm old, but well, now she's going to get beat by someone that's a nobody and old.
Damn.
Even though the fight's been ordered, do you anticipate any roadblocks, any delays in getting the fight actually done, signed, sealed, and delivered?
I don't believe they'll come from her team at all. I think if anything, she might pull a fake injury or something, but that's probably the only thing that'll get in the way.
Okay. Now,
go ahead.
Is this bad blood genuine, or is it basically just a competitive rivalry, or is there a genuine dislike between the two of you?
I genuinely dislike her, but I've never actually met her. I don't like anything that she's about. Like, this whole, I've been boxing for nearly 20 years. And when I started, there was like women were nothing. And I feel like along with a lot of other women, we've busted our asses for next to nothing and gained some respect in the sport. And then she's sort of come along and flashed her belongings, and she's just taken away all the respect that we've gained. Like, guys aren't watching her for her boxing ability. They're watching her for what she's going to wear to the weigh-in. And like, really, like, get over it. She's like, how many times can you see the same thing? We've seen it all. She doesn't hide anything. So the whole, like, it's all about the fame. That's not why I box. I've never, if I was boxing for money and fame, then I'm stupid, because I've been doing the sport for 20 years and the money's not, like, I've kept going even when there was really no money in it.
Go on, Mario.
Now,
so for me, I genuinely dislike everything she's about. She's got no loyalty. She's got no respect for herself or other people, and for the sport.
So, okay, from my perspective as a fan, looking on the outside in, right, and getting all this content, getting all the stuff that's going on in the media and the stuff you're saying now, would you say, let's get into the promotion, right? The fight sign, I mean, knock on wood and everything, the fight sign, we're in the promotion. Is this a fight between a sweet scientist and a sex symbol? Is this a fight between a fighter and a beauty queen? And not my words, I'm just saying, is that to you what this fight is?
Absolutely.
100%.
I don't know that I'd call her a beauty queen, more a skanky stripper or something. I don't know, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Savage. Whoa,
Man,
love it. Yeah, that excites me. It really does. And just the, I mean, everybody wants some sort of conflict in their boxing matches, right? But just to pivot a little bit, how exciting is it for you to be in a position where you're going to be on this world stage, more eyeballs on you than ever, and for fans to get to see your personality, to get to learn more about you? I saw, I read the other day you were born with a club foot, and the doctor told your mom that, you might not walk fully. I don't know how to say that. I don't want to say normal, but you know what I'm saying? Let alone play sports. And here you are as a professional in a sport. I mean, that's stuff that, fans resonate with. How do you feel about, putting yourself out there more?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, it'd be great for people to see, why I really do it. And, I mean, obviously the club foot, I was born. I was Forrest Gump with like one leg, obviously not.
I had a cousin, two. Yeah.
But if I didn't get the operation when I was born, I wouldn't be walking properly. So, but I mean, not only that, like I've got a massive story and a lot of reason for why I do boxing, why I've busted myself in this sport. It's more a mental health thing for me. Like both my parents are dead. My dad died when I was 2. My mum was a drug addict. Like I grew up rough, and boxing saved my life. So I've got that, that story that a lot of boxers have, but they're generally the ones that are more deserving and work the hardest for where they get.
But this one's your story, so that's what makes it unique, right? One last question before you go off to you, D. So you're in this position where, like we talked about the promotion, what kind of promotion it could be, but at the same time, being a realist, can't we say that while her methods might not be for everybody, they have in fact worked? And there is also a, I guess, way to connect it to the Jake Pauls and everybody else, where it's like you can build this clout outside of the ring that helps you inside, and fast track things. So, I mean, don't we also have to admit that this is where we're headed? It feels like.
Yeah, I think, each to their own. I like she's doing what she's doing, and sorry, she's it's getting her places. My ways are different, but she's doing a good job at what she's about. We're just about different things.
well, there you go.
I mean, I'm sure if she wasn't doing what she was doing, then for the public, no one would really care as much about this fight. I mean, the Australian public would, but worldwide, no one would really care. But she's made herself a name. I think a lot of people are either backing what she's doing or they want to see her be exposed.
Well said. I think you're absolutely right. I think that's like the way it is with a lot of the fringe, boxer, entertainer clan right now. But yeah, well said.
There you go. Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, because the road's been so tough for you and it hasn't been easy, like other fighters have, they've gotten their title shots quick. They've gotten the big push early in their careers. Because it's been so tough for you, has it made you appreciate the sport more? Do you think that winning this title, or fighting for this title and possibly winning this title, do you think it'll mean more to you because it's been so hard? And because it's been so hard for you, it's kind of made you who you are as a person and as a fighter. Would you have had it any other way?
Yeah, that's it's a question that I get asked a lot. Like, I'm with my manager, Glenn Jennings, and No Limit, and everyone's like, oh, if only that was 10 years ago. But I believe that the timing was right. I wouldn't have appreciated it or deserved it. And I might not have even sort of been as mature enough to accept it all if it happened 10 years ago. So 100%, it's going to mean so much more to me. Probably, I've got 3 kids. My youngest one, he doesn't understand, but my 2 oldest ones, my son has been by my side through every single part of my professional boxing career. So it's going to mean so much for me to share that moment with him too, because he comes in my corner.
Now, something bizarre about your career is usually boxers, they start at the lower weight classes and then they move up. You kind of did it. You kind of did it in reverse. Explain why your career took that path.
I really like. I mean, I was 51 kilos as an amateur, so I just took the fights where they were. My first world title shot was at featherweight, but I mean, I wasn't. I'm not a featherweight. I walk around at featherweight to super featherweight, so I just took the fights where they were. I didn't. I was always the B side. I was always the opponent coming in, hoping for the upset. And you know, there was times where it was nearly there, but it wasn't. So who cares? But yeah, I campaigned at super bantamweight for a while, and then I never had to sit in a sauna. I never had to cut weight. So I was like, I'm gonna get the extra weight off, and it's been probably the best move I've made.
You said you're the B side for most of your career, but if you win this fight, you could possibly be the A side moving forward. And how do you accept that role, and what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I'll be the A side in some of my fights, but I'm sure they'll still be classed as the B side if it comes to unifications. I work well like that. I work well either way, really. Like, I think I fight better under pressure. So I like to be the B side, but I mean, I always want to better myself. I don't want the easy fights. And I mean, that shows I've got losses because I've always tested myself and taken risks.
I want to touch upon the shoulder because we have one thing in common, because I have a torn labrum too, and in my right shoulder. And I suffered that when I was about 39 years old, about 14 years ago. And I never got the surgery. I did the rehab, and I can still do just about everything, but certain things I can't do. Like, I'm not really supposed to pull my elbow past my back, and I really don't hit the heavy bag and stuff anymore. But I noticed when I did hit the heavy bag, after a while, you know, the twisting, you can feel that rubbing, and you can feel like it's almost like an eraser rubbing up against a piece of paper. The little particles come off there. So I want to ask, did you injure that shoulder in around 2017, and you got the surgery in 2021? And what did you actually have done? Did you have just like a debridement, a scope, or did you actually have the labrum reattached back to the bone with the sutures? Can you walk me through that?
I had it reattached. It actually happened in my last fight. So obviously there's wear and tear that was happening over years. I mean, I've been boxing for nearly 20 years, so I guess your shoulders are doing things they're not supposed to do. But the actual, I've got a photo in the fight where my arm is completely dislocated throwing a jab. But it happened, the tear was so bad that I couldn't move without it dislocating. It was basically just rolling around. And the surgeon told us after the surgery that I needed a replacement shoulder. So I've got pieces of cartilage like this big were torn away, and they were sort of jamming and getting, I couldn't move my arm before the surgery.
It was impinged.
I could. There's not a chance I could have lived a normal life without that surgery. Like, I had all the anchors, and it was a major surgery.
Yeah, so it could have been torn for a great portion of your career, and you just probably didn't know the extent of it. And then
in the fight, it went.
Did you feel like your hand and your wrist going numb and stuff?
Not in the fight, but after the fight, like, people were hugging me, and I was like, I can't lift my arm. And then that was straight after the fight, and then within an hour, I literally couldn't move my arm. So
in
I
your
had surgery
opinion,
only a few days after.
So in your opinion, is that shoulder close to 100%, or compare your shoulder now to before the surgery? How far along are you in terms of functionality in that shoulder?
I'd say it's more, so I've got the stability in my shoulder is there. It's 100%. It's more the strength and the, like, using the muscles again, and obviously my confidence. It takes me a while until I'm confident to just flick my jab, because if it, like, it's more a fear inside me that it's not that I'm not going to redo it. It's just it's a bit more like, I don't know if I don't know if I can do that, but I can. I mean, I don't think I think I threw about 400 punches in the minute and a half. My last fight went for it. I didn't think twice about it.
That's how much you miss boxing. You just kept throwing punches. You know what I mean?
Good therapy for that too is like the resistance bands. I don't know if you've been doing that with it.
Yeah, I do all of that. My rehab now goes for just as long as, like, everyday rehab goes for as long as my training sessions.
So you mentioned your management. Like, how satisfied do you feel like that? Like they were able to make this happen? Because people from behind the scenes were telling me like they ain't gonna order that fight. Like it's not gonna happen. Like the people were just saying like it's wishful thinking, right? But they made it happen. The IBF ordered the fight. So like how
Yeah, look,
satisfied do you feel with that?
well, when I first spoke to Glenn Jennings, only 8 months ago, he said to me, "I promise you, you'll get a world title fight." And 8 months later, it's happening. I mean, it's he's got other things in the plans, and I mean, he really he makes things happen. And No Limit Boxing as well. Like he's been discussing things on the phone to the IBF. He's already spoken to Eddie. Like Matt Rose they've just been so good to me.
Are you anticipating the possibility? Like two possibilities. One, that because there's already some members of the media saying things like, I don't know, I want to see unification or whatever, right?
It's not allowed.
Like, but do so you're saying that they can't, like if she unifies with the IBA, I'm sorry, champion, WBA, I'm sorry, champion, like they can't, maybe postpone it or something? Is that something you've thought about? Or what if, are you prepared to or have you thought about what if she vacates and you got to fight somebody else in that division for the vacant belt?
Well, she's not, now that they've ordered the fight, she's not allowed to unify unless I think they approve it and I approve it, which I'm not going to approve it. I think if the fight hadn't been ordered, then it's allowed to get overridden. But because the fight's been ordered, there's no out of the fight. The title will be taken off of her. And yeah, I mean, I'm assuming then it will be number one, number two, and that's whatever.
Okay.
It's not, for me, it's not just about fighting Ebony. It's the belt. I don't want the belt. I don't care who's got the belt. I want the belt.
No, for sure. And that's the way it should be. But I guess maybe it's people that haven't been following you or something, but I keep hearing it's mostly her fans. Oh, she just wants this fight because she wants the name. She wants the recognition. She wants that's basically what's happening right now. Like almost like you're clout chasing or whatnot, Ebony Bridges. But you've been wanting this fight. Like you were rated higher than her and Courtney, right? When they fought for the vacant WBA, right?
And I believe so was Shanika. And we fought for the gold and they were fighting I don't know how that made sense. We were both ranked higher than both of them.
So here's what I want to kind of say, and it goes a lot to the media members that kind of back her up or whatever, right? I keep hearing a lot of what has Shannon OConnell done to, or whatever, right? Leaving aside the fact that you're number one in WBA, IBF, so you've already done the things to be number one. Leaving aside the fact that she herself said she should become the mandatory, and well, here you are, you're the mandatory. Leaving all that aside, she herself was a voluntary of Roman, right? She didn't earn that shot. She didn't beat anybody for that position to get that shot. Her and Courtney didn't do anything to get their shot. She's gotten 2 shots at titles before you did. How do you feel about media members, and if you want to speak to them directly, that keep saying things like, Shannon OConnell, I don't want to see her fight Bridges because I'd rather see Bridges fight the other champion. She hasn't done anything to earn that shot, etc. What do you say to those, those pundits and fans?
To be honest, they're all going to be biting their tongues. Like it's embarrassing for them that the crap that they're coming out with. That I haven't done anything. don't deserve that. I've had 30 pro fights. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, my comeback fight after surgery was against someone that was a novice, but most of her fights have been against novices. When she fought Beck Connolly, the girl that I fought would beat Beck Connolly. So she took 3 rounds to knock her out. Well, I don't know. I don't understand why she deserves anything. What, because she gets her clothes off? Okay, that's boxing. It just makes no sense. Like anyone that doesn't want this fight is her fans and friends, and that's for one reason only, is because it's too much of a risk for her.
Well, I think anyone that listens to this interview is going to want this fight now because of the bad blood. But I want to ask you, do you think this fight belongs in Australia? Because she's been fighting in the UK. That's her home away from home right now. And she's even said that she doesn't want to fight in Australia anymore, she wants to fight her future fights, or at least recent future fights in the near future in the UK. Where do you want this fight to be, and does it matter to you? Would you prefer it to be in Australia?
Obviously, I'd prefer it to be in Australia. I mean, it's big for boxing in Australia, women's boxing in Australia. I mean, I don't understand her saying, I've got no intentions of fighting in Australia again. Like, someone made a comment about Katie Taylor. She lives in the UK, lives in America, fights in the UK, wants to fight in Ireland. Like, why wouldn't you want to have a world title fight in front of your own people? I mean, even someone said the same thing, Sky Nicholson, Ramla Ali, they all want to fight in front of their home crowd. Like, it just makes no sense to me, other than she just knows that she, in front of the UK judges, she might get a bit of biasy. But I don't care. I will fight her anywhere. I will fight her in America. I will fight her in England. I don't care. I just want the fight.
As the people's champ for Australia.
Look, I want to ask you this. So if the fight happens, hopefully it happens, right? I know you said, I know you said that you don't think she'll fight you, but I'm pretty sure you want to be wrong. Like, I'm sure you hope she does fight you, right? But if this fight happens, right, and you two get in the ring, you have a great fight, let's say you win or whatnot, do you think you could be okay with her afterwards? Like, if she does fight you, she does sign, you get in the ring, hey, afterwards, can you see the bad blood just going away after that?
Oh, look, I don't think the blood won't be as bad, because if she signs and she gets in the ring and we have a good, we fight, then respect to her for doing that. I still don't believe in her ways of getting where she's gone. I still don't believe in her morals. That to me, that's not bad blood. That's just my beliefs. I don't like the way she goes about things. I wouldn't like my daughter to be looking up to someone like that. That's just my views, and that's not going to change unless she changes. But I mean, I'm still not going to like the fact that she did that to get where she was. But she will have my respect as a fighter if she gets in that ring.
Now, another question I have. So let's say the fight does happen, right? Weigh-ins. Can you like go off on her? Like, if she starts saying the wrong things to you right there, can you contain yourself? Don't put hands on her at the weigh-in. Don't headbutt her. If she calls you names, can you contain yourself? Because it looks like you don't like her, right? And she could say the wrong thing, and then I don't know, you headbutt her or something. Can you contain yourself? Or are we gonna need security at the weigh-ins?
I feel like you've been having the same visions I've been having. No, look, I will contain myself. I'm very professional when it comes to that. I'll say what I think, but I mean, come fight time, I'm there to fight. I'm not there to, make anything at the weigh-in. Like, I honestly believe that she is actually petrified of me as a human. She might talk the talk and say I'm a nothing, but that's because she's scared. So I don't believe she'll go over the top. But whatever, she's just going to make herself look stupid. The amount of videos that I've seen of people going off at the weigh-in and then getting knocked out I'd never put myself in that position. So I'm there to fight come fight time, not the weigh-in.
You're there to fight. And just an idea for Eddie Hearn, before I go to you, Beep. They got to do a face-off, like one of those where you sit down on a table and you're both facing off, like just sitting down face to face. That's money. They got to do it. Put it on whatever it is, the zone, whatever, wherever it is, right? I think that's the way to go, in my opinion, because I think you two having a talk would be gold, because you don't like each other, and fans like that. It is what it might sound, whatever, but that's how I feel. But would you be willing to do one of those sit downs face to face for 30 minutes? I know you can't stand her, but would you be willing to do it for our entertainment?
Yeah, 100%. I'd do that. Like, I mean, I've not been trashy in anything I've said. I say things how they are. I say things how I see them. All that she's got is a foul mouth and a trashy talk, and that's just going to make her look stupid. I'm more than happy to expose that side of her even more. That's fun. I'm happy to do. I think it'd be good for boxing. I mean, you see so much of the top guys doing all that stuff. So if we can do it, awesome.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Pete.
Now, obviously, we live in this world of social media, and the only interaction you and her have had is through social media, it seems. And you've never met her, as you said. Do you think when you guys do meet,
Bridges blocked her, brother. She blocked her.
Yeah, I don't have social. I get a few screenshots here and there.
Yeah, I get it.
So, but your interactions are through the internet somehow, some way. So what I'm saying is, do you think when you guys do meet in person, maybe it could be different? Do you think she'll probably bring a different energy, or do you think it'll be the same? You know, you could be surprised in your first meeting with her.
Yeah, I might be. Who knows? I'm whatever, but I'm still going to see her for what she's doing, and I don't like it. I don't even some of the things that I see where her comments to people. I'm just like the things that she said in her interviews, like her language, her. I mean, I'm no saint, I swear, but in front of a camera, like, who are you?
She did.
It's yuck.
Like she called you, forgive me, but she called you a cunt, right?
Whoa!
She did, but like I was like, well, that's kind of like
say C-word, please.
Is she really that just because she wants her title shot? Like, does that really I just felt kind of like that was a little off, you know, a little out there, you know what I mean? But yeah, but look, I have one more question for you because I know you're on vacation. We need to let you go a little bit. So, look. Before the announcement, she was laughing at the fact that almost like snickering on Twitter that you haven't been mandated and like little laughing emojis. She on the Ring IQ interview, she had all the way she was talking, like, what has she done? I'm the champion. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to fight whoever's in front of me, not behind me. It was a different language, right? She was talking like she was like Canelo or some shit, right? But then recently, she's been talking differently, right? Like, oh, guys, it's not up to me. I don't make the calls. My team makes the calls. I let my promoters pick my fights. If it was up to me, I would fight every month, you know, if it was up to me. But unfortunately, I don't make the calls. My team makes those decisions. So now it's about her team. I don't know about you, Shannon. That sounds like duck talk to me. That sounds she's ready to just not take the hit. And if you remember, I told you off record, I had said, if she was smart, she would have said that from the beginning, right? She would have said, I don't make the decisions. But now she's going that route. Do you think someone talked to her and told her, look, you can't be talking that way because you can't say things because then, look, now she's the mandatory. So do you think maybe Eddie Hearn or somebody talked to her and said, if we don't make the fight, let me take the blame? Do you think someone talked to her or something? Is she ready to duck you?
Yeah, maybe, or she just she didn't think that we were going to be able to make it happen. So she maybe just thinks now she probably already feels a bit stupid for all the things that she said. And that's her way out of it, I guess. Like, you know, oh, well, I'll fight anyone, like whatever. But the other thing, she's sort of contradicting herself with saying that is because she's also said, I've got no interest in fighting in Australia. And, you know, all of her fans keep saying, oh, well, she's the champ. She'll fight where she wants to fight. I don't know if that's how it works when your promoter does your negotiations. Like, she'll fight where our promoters discuss and agree on. Like, so will I. I don't know. Does she manage and promote herself these days, or what? Like, she's not calling the shots.
I mean,
definitely become like a bigger entity. You're right. Real quick, fun question, because I know you got to go. So you talk about you've been envisioning everything. Do you happen to have, because I'm a fan of your ink, right? It looks great. Do you happen to have an idea for the victory tattoo? Any ideas at all? Maybe a little championship or the date?
To be honest, all of my tattoos are like sort of memories and the way I was like strengthened and that sort of thing. I don't have anything that's like a victory tattoo for me. It's all like, you know, my kids and my dad, my mom, my grandparents. It's all sort of what's made me who I am. Pretty much all of my tattoos, not all of them, most of them. So I haven't really thought about that, but maybe that's a good idea.
There you go. Your first victory tattoo.
Well, one more thing. If you can, look at the camera. What do you want to tell, not just Bray, what do you want to tell the division? What do you want to tell Luna? What do you want to tell, Dorsland, all of them, all the champions? And what do you want to tell the fans about your plans with this division. Just go ahead and take this moment, look at the camera. What do you want to tell this division? If you want to put them on notice.
Let's do it. I want to fight you all. Like I'm keen. I'm definitely ready, and I want to fight. I want all of them. I obviously want to get through Bridges first, and then we'll look at what's next. There
you go. Well, Shannon, I appreciate you coming on, Shotgun Shannon, and we'll hope to have you back on in the future. And I'm glad you got the news, and I hope the fight happens, for all the boxing world. And that's all I got to say. But you have a good one, Shannon.
Congrats.
Legend. Thank you, guys.